My name is Don Okpala, and a retired United Nations staff in Nairobi. And I have been in Nairobi for almost 4 decades as a staff member of the United Nations here in Gigiri, from where I joined the Rotary Club of Milimani in 1993. And I was invited by the founder president of the Rotary Club of Milimani, Mr. Sheyi Lufadeju, who before then we were colleagues back in Nigeria. But he came here earlier as managing director of South Africa and founded the Rotary Club of Milimani when he moved from the Rotary Club of Nairobi to found the first African-headed Rotary Club in Nairobi in 1983 or thereabout. So he invited me to the Rotary luncheon, which at that time they were holding at the Pan-African Hotel. I objected to the lunch because traveling from Gigiri to the city center for lunch was like paying for the lunch itself. So I argued with him, but we were old colleagues back in Nigeria as members of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. But he insisted, but after I decided to give it a try, and I attended the first luncheon, and he introduced me and as his guest and so on. Paid for my lunch. That was a good one. So next time, again, I came, I paid for he paid for my lunch. On the third occasion, when the sergeant at arms went around collecting money, and he came to me to collect money, I said, "That's my host, go to him." So the sergeant at arms went to him to collect the money, and he got up and said, Rotarian president, who at that time was John Jogoro, he said, "Please save me from my guest. I have paid for this guest 2 times now that I have no money to pay." So the president of the club jokingly told me, "Well, he has tried. See what you can do. You either decide to join the club or be a guest of yourself and pay for yourself." Anyway, that was on the Jacob's Way. That's how I started. So after about 3 or so visits, I was convinced by the aims and objectives of the club, of Rotary Club. So I decided to join, and I joined in 1993. That's how. From there, we started with a bunch of very active members. We started working on the Rotary Club of Milimani and developing programs and projects, which at that time was, by the way, at that time, the Rotary district was 9200, which comprised Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. So it was a 5-country district, much larger than what we have now. But that's the beginning of my journey. And I worked in several committees, which I don't believe these days exist. 5 committees at that time, from service project to, I've forgotten the names, but about 5 committees within this. You have to work successively through them to understand what Rotary is all about. And that we did, yes. And as the time comes, I happened to become the president, elected president, 1997, 1998, or thereabouts. And we developed a lot of projects. You see, the first one that was foreign supported was from Greece, which had to do with rehabilitation of what they call Uji Mahuruma, old people's home in Runda here. I got that because I went, attended an international convention, met delegates, and we discussed and agreed for them to support that project. And we brought it. That was the first foreign supported project that the Rotary Club of Milimani did. From there, we worked on many projects, the largest of which is called the 3H project. That is project on health, hunger, and whatever. But it's 3H by which cost 12 point something million dollars at that time. And it was sponsored by Milimani in collaboration with a United States counter club, as well as the Church of East Africa, something like that. This has to do with setting up a health facility in Kasasule, somewhere there in eastern Kenya. And it took us a lot of labor, over 3-4 years, to complete the project. But it is the largest project that the Rotary Club of Milimani has done, among other projects that follow. Rotary categorizes by profession in which classification is by profession by which you are living your life. So it's not a place where you go to look for a job. Unemployment is not a qualification for being a member of Rotary. It's just that you are skilled in one of the professions and you want to, through that profession, give assistance to those who are less privileged. So the basic first, which I think is lacking in recent times, is a poor understanding of the objectives of Rotary, of what Rotary is about, what it is supposed to do, what it's not supposed to do. That's the basic thing, to understand the objectives. Rotary has objectives, it's written everywhere, and so on. So to understand what you are getting into before you get into it. And then to have the spirit of giving not only your material resources, but even your time, and so on and so forth. Well, I would come up with the same sentence that is Rotary, that is service. Service to humanity. Humanity broadly defined. The service to humanity in any aspect of that service that is desired by the population is a service organization. Yeah. So you be prepared to serve, prepared to contribute in any way you can, either by skills, by financial, or in any way you can uplift those who are under. I will advise the Rotary Club of Milimani new generation to return to basics, to go back and find out why Rotary, what it is expected to do, and what it does, and the limits that it has. To return to basics. And returning to basics means going back and finding out understanding what Rotary is about and what it's supposed to do. These are documented in Rotary literature. To return to basics, you've got to understand what you are in before you can implement it.